Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Yusuf Olanrewaju Bello. I am very delighted to introduce the first lesson of what will be a Z Tips and Tricks series. Um, this lesson comes after the introductory phase. I made I made clear to you what is to come in this Excel tips and tricks learning series. But this lesson, let me not waste your time. Let me go straight into what is to come. Let me tell you what I'm to tell you. What the first thing I'm going to do is to just navigate through the Excel interface. I'm going to use Excel 2019, but it looks very much like the new version of Excel and the old version of Excel. And I'm not going to take your time. It's going to be a very short. Our series is usually a very short series. So let me share my screen with you. Um, so this is Excel. Let me tell you one thing. This lesson is assumed that you are, as I said before, it assumes that you don't have understanding of computing that much. This side is the menu bar. We call it the menu bar, but each of these is known as the menu item. And it looks very much like what Excel used to be prior to 2007 when Office underwent a dramatic change by Microsoft. If you click on the file menu, it takes you to the backstage. I call it the backstage, backstage, where you have the new, the open, the save, the save as, the print, and most importantly, the close. And you can have your account of information if you want to know what Microsoft Office you use. If you go to the account information, you can see that this is Microsoft Office 2000 Professional 2019. And the options, this is for those who are the advanced user of Excel. And if you follow me with time, I'm going to let you know how this is used. All right, now focus on the basic. So if you go back to your file, if you click on your file, is the backstage, and if you click on this home, you will see a number of items here. We typically call this the ribbon. Some call it the ribbon, but most people call it the ribbon. And this is where this began, this idea of grouping functionalities and features in Microsoft Office products using the ribbon began in 2007 with the release of Microsoft Office in 2007. Here you have the clipboard, you have the fonts, you have the alignment, you have the number on that home. We're going to talk about most of all these things one by one, but as our new Office series are released. Now we have the inserts, we have the draw, we have the page layout, we have the formulas. It's important to let you know for those who likes accounting and top the math guru, this session, this aspect of this ribbon will be very, very good for you. Data for those who are data monkey and data gurus, this session will be good for you. Then the review, we have the view where some functionalities can be changed, the developer, and those who are the VBA and Michael's Whiskey, this functionality before you. You could see, don't be perturbed to see this power pivot. This is advanced functionality. This is for the advanced feature of Excel by data scientists, used by data scientists. I'm a data scientist, so that's why it is there. I think another important thing that I have to tell you is this is the work area. This is your sheet. And it's also important to tell you that this is your this shows you book one. You are in a workbook. We have several sheets in a workbook. You can create many sheets in a workbook. Currently, we have 3 sheets in a workbook. This is sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. All right, and you can create more sheets if you like, and this sheet can be renamed. I will tell you how as the series progress. And it's important for me to let you know that you can create more workbook by going to File and hitting on the new. If you go to on the new, you can create workbook based on, you can create a blank workbook. You see, we have workbook two, meaning that we now have two workbook. This is workbook one, this is workbook two. And if you like, you can come here and create a workbook based on a template. There are different templates that you can adopt. This is if you want to create a workbook that has to do with sales reports or monthly budgets, you can click sales report. It says I'm not connected to internet. So this is okay. It's complaining about internet, but I feel I'm connected to the internet. Let's look at the billing. All right. Let's see about the tutor. You can actually connect to the internet. Okay. You can take a tour. You can download this. It's for Microsoft. You can download this, but I'm not interested in that. I don't want it to distract us. So it's also important for me to talk about this status bar. This status bar is very important. Here is the status bar. You may be wondering. This is where you have the number of your sheets here. And it's also important. This is a status bar. I beg your pardon. You can right click on the status bar to bring more functionality. You could see that you have some things you can bring in. You can bring your signature in. You can bring in your you can bring a whole lot of, you can bring in your page number, you can bring in your minimum, maximum, and some if you like, and your zoom and zoom slider here. You may be wondering where they are. This is your zoom slider. You can increase the view, you can decrease the view by clicking this. You look at my cursor here, you can increase the view, you can decrease the view. And these are your sheets. This sheet is your normal view, and this sheet is for your page layout view. And this is how it looks. And this sheet is what is called the page break view. You won't be using this that much. Most times you'll be on this sheet. And it's important for me to tell you one in the work area. In the work area, it's important for me to tell you that this is your column. We have many columns. This is column B, this is column A, this is column C, this is column D, and so forth. And I will tell you that this is your row. If you click on this, this is row one, row two, and as you go down, this is your row three. It is important for me to tell you that the intersection of your column and your row give you your cell. This is your cell A1 as indicated here, and this is your cell B1 as indicated there. If you go here, this is your cell H9. Now, one thing that is also important for me to tell you that here is your formula bar. This is where you enter formula, and this here is your here is your name box. Whatever you do, you can see it here. So as time goes on, I'll be telling you more about all these functionality. If you enter something here, say equals 2 plus 2 is going to appear in your formula bar as 4. That is it. And another thing that I have to also tell you is that for those who are curious, you want to know how powerful Excel is. The base installation of Excel, let's see if you want to know the maximum number of rows you can have. You're going to click on Control Shift, press your Control Shift, and click the down arrow to select everything down. But if you want to know how deep you want to go, you press on Control, how deep can you go, and press the down arrow button. It takes you to the last cell in Excel and the last row in Excel, and that is 1,448,576. This is it means you can do analysis of 1,048,576. But I will tell you that we can get past this limitation using the model. But now, this is a introductory part of Excel. When we go to the advanced feature of Excel, if you're interested, that is when you know how we can get past this limitation. I can tell you that Excel can do 100 million, but when we get there, I will tell you. But right now, we are in basic functionality of Excel. I want to go back to the first cell. I press the control and the up arrow key to see I'm in cell A1. Then you may now be saying, how do I know how wide can Excel be? You see, this is column A. How wide can Excel be? Press Control and press the right arrow key. It takes you to XFD. And that is your limitation that you can have. Then I want to go back to my Excel, to say A1. I will press Control and the left arrow key. Then it takes me to A1. And it's important, before I wrap up, it's important for me to tell you, if you want to minimize, this is how to minimize. If you want to max, if you want, this is a custom. And if you want to cancel, let's say you want to close a cell in a very fast way, this is how to close a cell. Just that. But I don't want to close this cell, so I'm leaving it. So let me close it. I will just say I'm not saving, and you may decide to save it. By the way, you can save this thing. This is book 2. If you don't like the book 2, you may save it. The first instance of save, you will navigate to your work area. You will navigate to your work area by going to Browse and navigate to your desktop. If you don't really know this, you need somebody to help you for this. And I want to save it in MS Excel tips and tricks, because this is Excel tips and tricks series. I'm going to save it in Excel tips and Excel tips and tricks. Look at it. So I'm going to save it. Then I can create a folder. This is how to create a folder. You right click and hit new. Then hit folder. Then let's say it as Excel tips and tricks. Excel tips and tricks. Lesson series with Bello. All right. Now, having done that, then you double click on this, then come here and hit save. Then you will see, oh my goodness, we made one mistake. The mistake we made, okay, let's close this. It is going to save it as a book 2. Never make that mistake, but the mistake will give me opportunity to go to where you save, because we save this as book 2. I'm going to right click on it and probably save it as lesson 1. So because I don't want it to appear as book 2, I can open this, my Excel here, by double clicking. And this is also true whatever you learn here, because we have separate series for Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook, as well as Access. So whatever you learn in Excel can be taken to, can be carried over to those things. You can see you now have lesson 1. So in order to finish, prior to the end of this class, I'm going to tell you one last thing, the difference between value and formula. If you type 2 here, 2 is 2, because it's a value. If you type 3 here, 3 is 3, because it's a value. You type 4 here, 4 is 4, it is a value. You type 5 here, 5 is 5, is a value. But if I come here and I say this, I click on this and I say plus, then click on this to give me 6. This 6 and this 6 There's a difference between this 6 and this 6, which I'm going to tell you. If I come here and I click on this 3 and I click on this 5 as well, this gives me 8. There's a difference between this 8 and this 8. Let me widen this so that our audience can see it. And you can come here. Why this 6 is a formula to see is as a result of the addition of this. We're going to tell you the difference as time goes on. This 6 is a manually is as a result of manual entry. This 8, why this 8 is as a result of formula. This other 8 is as a result of manual entry. And you can know this as a when you look into your formula bar. And one way that you can easily expose this is either by double clicking this. This gives you the formula. Or if you double click this, it only gives you nothing. If you double click this, it exposes the formula. Another quick way of doing it is when you go to view. You go to view and you say you want to see there's something that I'm trying to show you. I can't see it here right now, but never mind. Okay, go to formula. It's not on formula. It's not in view, and click on show formula. Then it's going to show you all the formula you have. This is very important because be very careful not to delete any value you see, anything you see in Excel, because we don't know whether it is a formula put together by people. And one last thing that I want to tell you again is if you observe, let me go back to my formula and click on show formula to remove it. If you type A or B, you will see that it aligns to the left. Y2 and 3 aligns to the right. Typically, by default, numeric entry aligns to the right, while non-numeric entry, with the exception of date, aligns to the left. Let's enter dates, and you have to know that, okay, this is today's date. If I were to enter 11, and I'm to enter 29, which is the date, I'm using American standard. So if your computer is UK standard, everything may be different. Let me widen this sheet. You can widen this sheet by clicking there and place your cursor at the boundary here, the boundary between G and H, then widen it. You can see that the date also aligns to the right. So, and that ends the class for today, but let me tell you, you can also widen this by clicking here. So that ends the class for today. I'm going to, and for any question and comments, please help us put it on the comment section. And another thing I also want to tell you, I'm going to be, any suggestion, any further information, please let us put in the comments. Thank you for watching and have a nice time. Stay blessed and watch out for our next series.